the countdown, Kyle. Thanks. That's helpful. Well, good evening and welcome to our Lighthouse Christian Preschool orientation. Thank you for being here. The room is nice and big so we can spread out if we need to. And for those of you that are at home, we welcome you as well. It is being live streamed and you will be able to review it over the week if you'd like to on the church website. So if you need that information, just let us know and we'll get that to you. Our agenda tonight is we'd like to go over our Lighthouse school policies. I'd like for you to meet our staff and then become familiar with our curriculum. So we hope we can do that in less than an hour tonight. My part shouldn't take very long and you'll have the opportunity to visit a classroom if you'd like to. We just wanted to give you a little history about Lighthouse. We welcome you to our preschool and to Atlantic Beach Assembly of God Church. We wanted to take a moment to share with you how we came to be at this sweet church. We were located in Jacksonville Beach for 11 years, and suddenly the property was sold where we were operating out of in December of 2019, in the middle of a school year. We were searching for a new home and discovered one right here. Pastor Donnie's grandson was attending our VPK in Jacksonville Beach. He was one of our VPK students, and Pastor Donnie opened his church to us. We feel very blessed by that. It was an interesting year, moving in the middle of a school year, and then the pandemic hit in the spring. We were only here 90 days, and now we're beginning our third year here. So that's just a short, brief history of how we came to be here. We're very proud of our dedicated faculty for making this school such a happy place for children to come and make new friends, to learn, and to explore. One of the items that we wanted to inform you about is Lighthouse is fully accredited. The accreditation process is voluntary, and it examines how we're measuring up to the highest standards in early education. We participate in the Guiding Stars of Duval, and we have maintained a 5-star rating for the last 15 or more years, I think. We are licensed by DCF, and we are inspected quarterly by DCF, and we're constantly striving to meet the highest standards. So we do everything we can each day. We're dedicated in our desire to provide a loving and secure learning environment in which our children can grow spiritually, intellectually, socially, and emotionally. Our mission is to provide an atmosphere where a child can experience the love of God. In the Bible, Jesus said, "Let the little children come to me, don't keep them away. The kingdom belongs to people like them." That's so true. One of the purposes of our orientation is to acquaint our families with our handbook. You can receive a handbook through our office, or you can download it on our website. This will help us all understand our policies and DCF policies. On the first day of school, your child is going to bring home 3 handouts: a yearly calendar so that you can see all the holidays and possible events, tips for parents explaining how to prepare your child for a preschool experience, and one that I really like is called Learning Centers, and it details how children learn through play. We teach using 2 different curriculums. We learn curriculum and creative curriculum. Both were written by professionals with advanced degrees in the field of early education. The guides are age-graded and theme-based. The curriculum has proven outcomes in all age groups. God's word says to parents and to teachers, "Only be careful and watch yourselves closely so that you do not forget the things your eyes have seen or let them slip from your heart as long as you live. Teach them to your children and to their children after them." That's our responsibility as parents and teachers. We do take this to heart every day as we teach. As we're teaching, within the first 30 days, we will have an assessment on each student. This information is used by the teachers for their lesson plans. Your child's teacher will also want to know if you have any goals for your child, and they will use that on their lesson plans as well. Be thinking about that. Another assessment will take place in January with a parent-teacher conference, and a final one will be performed again in May. If you're a VPK student, your children will be assessed with 2 different types of assessments. They'll have the ASQs that they've always been given, and they also have what's called an AP 1, 2, and 3. That information goes into the state portal. So let's begin at drop-off. What should you do each day when you arrive? Most of you know, if you're new though, you might not, you need to sign in on the sign-in log each day with your full name, first and last name, the time, and a phone number where you can be reached at all times. It might be the same information every day, but if you're going to be at a meeting or something, you might need to leave somebody else's phone number. It's that time when we're gonna need you, I'm sure. As your child arrives, a staff member will check your child's temperature and take your child to their classroom. If your child arrives by 8 o'clock, they may bring a breakfast. We can't serve milk from a cup. It's a DCF state policy. We can only serve milk from the original container, which we serve at lunchtime. I would say be prepared to say goodbye at the door so that we can begin bonding with your child. The longer you linger, the harder it is for that separation anxiety. If your child is attending half-day, 8:30 to 11:30, make sure that they arrive no earlier than 5 minutes prior to the 8:30 time frame. And if your child's going to miss a day, if you would call the office and let us know, that's helpful. If your child is going to be late one day because of an appointment or something, let us know that. Just give us a call and let us know that as well. DCF requires us to document a child's absence and attendance. We serve snack in the morning and afternoon, and we serve lunch each day. We'll let you know, or you need to let us know if your child has a food allergy or sensitivity or preferences. You may need to send your child's food if those situations occur. We are a peanut-free school, and we ask you not to send in anything with peanut butter. And if you are sending your students food in, if you'll label their lunchbox or food, that's helpful, and not put it in their backpack. So what do you do when you depart each day? Same thing, you're going to sign out using your full name, first and last name, and the time that you're signing out. If you send someone on your child's pickup list to pick your child up, please ask them to bring their ID, because we do check IDs. And we will not release your child to someone who is not on the pickup list. If it's an emergency and you need to add someone to the list or pick up in an emergency situation, we have to have that in writing, so we'll ask you to either email it or text us that information so that we can print it. And if you're going to be late, if you would please call, or if your schedule changes, we like to know that, because we get concerned about y'all as well, because we know your schedules and when you're coming and going. So give us a call if you're going to be outside your normal pickup range. For safety reasons, we ask that you drive slowly in and out of the parking lot. Children are very short, and they could be between the cars getting in and out, and you might not see them, so please be very careful. We've also noticed that the entrance and exit area, you need to go very slowly, because you may have to pause to let somebody out so that you can come in. It's a little tight right there, so just be very cognizant when you're coming on into the parking lot. Some people like to park over on this side and just walk over because it's easier for them. We do have an illness policy. This helps ensure the well-being of all who attend. DCF law requires parents to be notified and pick up a child within 30 minutes when a child is ill. Please make sure that you have alternate plans for your child if they're sick. That's one of the hardest things for working parents. I know that, but you need a backup plan. A child with a fever or diarrhea must be symptom-free for 24 hours before returning without the benefit of medication. If we send your child home due to illness, they may not come back the next day. They have to be without illness for 24 hours, and that means the whole next day. We ask that you send a mask in your child's backpack. We will practice with our masks, and we may use them depending on the situation in the classroom. Concerning COVID, we're monitoring the rapidly changing situation with the Delta variant. We want to continue to provide the safest and healthiest environment for our children. We're asking every family to be prepared as well by having a constant plan if we have an exposure. After an exposure at school, we take immediate measures in contacting each family that had a child in direct contact. We'll close the classroom. We'll have the entire building sanitized and disinfected with the germ-killing ionized spray. You'll be advised to check with your healthcare professional about when to have your child tested. And you'll have the following 2 options for returning to school. You can have a 7-day quarantine with a negative test result and come back on day 8, or you can have a 10-day quarantine before returning to school with no symptoms, and both of them with no symptoms. That requirement may change as we monitor CDC and Duval County Public School guidelines for exposures, and we're using their guidelines for our preschool. We will advise you of the date that the class will reopen depending on the onset of symptoms or the day of the positive test. We will treat tuition the same as when your child is out of school for an illness. Tuition will be due during the closure. The school must continue to pay all expenses and teacher salaries, plus extra costs for disinfecting and sanitizing. We want to continue to provide the safest environment that we can for all concerned. Further health requirements. DCF requires that we have your child's health form and immunization form. It's 2 different documents. DCF requires that medication can be dispensed, but it must be in the original container with the child's first and last name and date and dosage. You have to provide us with the name, address, and phone number of the doctor who provided it, which usually isn't on the medication bottle. So if you're sending it in, just look that information up for us. You must sign a medication form that you can get from our office. And then over-the-counter medication must have the child's age listed on the label and have the child's first and last name on the medication. That's true with their sippy cups and water bottles as well. They need their first and last name on the top and bottom. And we understand that you're leaving your most valuable possession, your child. We do take the utmost precaution to prevent accidents. All Lighthouse faculty have CPR and First Aid training. If an accident occurs, the teacher will write an accident report for you to sign. We will call 911 if there is a need or a reason. We will give you an accident report and keep that in our file for 5 years per DCF. If severe weather occurs, we will follow Duval County Public Schools or reopen when safe. So there's 2 different criteria. Our teachers will keep you posted by phone, text messages, or by email. So make sure that we have updated information for you and that you're contacting your teacher so that they can do that. And parents are required to keep their children's information current. So if you're moving or change your phone number, we need that information right away. Parents shouldn't leave a sibling in the car while bringing your child in the building. Please use utmost caution again as you're driving in the parking area. For nap time, your child will need a small backpack with a small light blanket, a lovey, and complete change of clothing. Small being the word there. We don't have a lot of room for the full bedding, so small is a good thing. As far as clothing for your boys and girls, send a complete change of clothes in their backpack. They'll need a nap mat, which is a tri-fold nap mat. You can usually get those at Walmart about this time of year, or you can order them online. And your child should not wear boots, flip-flops, or Crocs for several reasons, but that's kind of apparent. We do have mulch on the playground, and the Crocs, the mulch can go through those. We've seen that happen. You might ask how we handle discipline and intervention. We use redirection and a positive approach. We have small classes, so we generally head off problems before they occur. If a parent or a teacher has a concern about a child's development, we can refer to an outside agency for an assessment with a time frame for an implementation plan. Our goal is to have every child achieve positive growth in all areas. And as far as tuition is concerned, you make your payments. They can be made payable to LCP. Writing out Lighthouse Christian Preschool on a check is hard to do. Please write your child's name on your check. If you have cash, it should be given to the office or to ask a staff member. We'll always write a receipt for cash. Weekly tuition is due every week on Monday. Monthly tuition is due before the 5th of the month. A $10 late fee will accrue to late tuition if received afternoon on Wednesday or afternoon on the 5th day of the month. A 1-week written notice is requested if you're going to withdraw from the program. That's a lot of rules and regs, but thank you for listening. Our faculty is excited to begin this school year, and we're thrilled that you and your child will be a part of our history. We want each of our children to grow to their fullest potential as part of God's plan for them. And now I'd like to introduce you to our wonderful staff. I think they're spread out a little bit, but if I call your name, if you'll stand, and we can recognize you. Miss Lisa, Miss Pam, Miss Amy. Well, see Miss Shauna. She's gone for the day. Some of our teachers. Oh, she's here. I didn't see her. Shauna. Thank you, Shauna. Some of our teachers have classes in the evenings. Miss Kathy. And is Miss Mack here? Nope. Okay. She had to go. Miss Haiti. Miss Carly. And Miss Jessica. Great gals. We're privileged and honored to work with them. We want to thank you for attending this evening. Please feel free to ask any questions that you might have. We welcome open communication with our families. Please be in touch via email or phone. A lot of times we're busy in the classroom. If you leave a message or email, it may take a few minutes to get back to you, but we will get back to you as quickly as we can. Our teachers don't typically text all day long because they're very busy with their boys and girls. It takes a lot of time. But if you'd like to enter your child's classroom, you may do so now. And if you don't know which room that is, if you'll just wait a few minutes, we can take you there. And your teachers will be in the classroom to give you some information if you'd like that. We're excited for our new school year. We're looking forward to partnering with you in your child's early education and assisting them to become lifelong learners. That's our goal. So thank you very much for being here. It's not worth clapping. If you want to exit from the back pews first, that would be good. Safety reasons.